Namaste. Welcome to your yoga practice today. I'll be leading you through a 45-minute yin yoga practice that will focus on the yoga philosophy of Santosha, or contentment. So this would be a lovely practice to do when you're winding down at the end of the day, or if you just need a little bit of a recharge, maybe, or a reset in the middle of your day. So we're going to start actually in Shavasana, yay, laying on your back, with your legs extended out long in front of you. And really allow your heels to come to the corner edges of the mat, even turning your toes out a little bit as you lay on back. Get yourself nice and settled. As you're ready, let's release the palms down by the sides, opening up the fingertips towards the sky. Good, and as you start to settle your body fully on the mat here, let's start to settle into our breath as well. So you're just arriving here onto your mat, into your practice space. Let's take a few deep inhales through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Go ahead and find 2 more just like that. Good, last one here. Good, gently coming back to the natural rhythm of your breath here. Just giving yourself a few moments to really settle, really arrive into this space. Whatever space you're in, whether it's your home, maybe you're outside, start to expand your awareness outside of your thoughts, outside of the to-dos, and just really place your body in the space around you. Good, we'll take a few more deep settling breaths here, maybe feeling your inhales pull all the way down into the base of your belly. And letting each breath go to your fullest capacity. Good, staying on our backs here. Let's gently come into butterfly legs. So bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open up wide. So feeling free, maybe if you have a few blocks nearby, you can place them underneath your knees here for a little bit of support. Or you can rest just with your knees dangling towards the floor. Good, keep your eyes closed here, staying in your butterfly legs. Continuing to deepen your breath here. So today we're talking about this yogic philosophy of Santosha. It's one of the core pillars of our yoga practice. And the word Santosha is often said to mean contentment. It's the idea of being content with your life, being content with the present moment, and being content with the way things are, the way that each moment comes to us individually. So we're going to explore a little bit of that contentment through your body, through your breath today. Starting here in your butterfly position, giving yourself the contentment of this time for self-care and relaxation. Maybe feeling the hip sockets begin to gently yawn open, getting a bit of space there around the pelvis, the inner thighs. Maybe even feeling that spaciousness spread across to your low back here. Let's bring the hands to your thighs and inhale, gently press your knees back up towards the sky. Allow your hands to help you get there. Let's bring both knees in towards the chest for a supine child's pose. So take your hands around your knees. Let your knees open up away from each other a little bit. Maybe gently rocking side to side if it feels good for you and your low back here. Let's take 3 full breaths. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhaling completely through the nose. Maybe starting to find that yogi's breath here. Good. Let's extend the left leg out long in front of you. Keep your right knee in towards your chest. Then we're going to release your right arm out beside you. Taking your knee into your left hand as you exhale, cross over the body, taking the knee to the left. Maybe one of your blocks is still there. You can catch your knee on that block or just keep it hovering. Very gentle here. It's still early on in our practice. And this is a twist that really encompasses the whole of your spine. So allow yourself maybe a bit of graciousness, a little bit of reserve here in the beginning. So allow yourself to go to that place where you first start to feel a nice good stretch, and then from there you can allow the body to soften and open up to the shape. And let's take one more breath here. And then inhale, bring your right knee back up towards the ceiling. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Give yourself one last little squeeze of the knee in towards the belly here. And then exhale, switch sides, extending your right leg, left knee in towards your chest. Maybe give yourself a breath here, starting to feel that left hip socket begin to stretch open just a little bit. As you're ready, release your left arm beside you. Exhale, knee crossing over to the right side of the body. Again, finding any sort of support or modifications here that might suit you best. Maybe a gentle bend in that right knee as well. Allowing ourselves to be content, to find contentment with where we are in our bodies today. Maybe bringing some softness into the muscles around your face here as well. As you're ready, inhale. Knee comes back up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers around that knee, gently pulling thigh to belly. Take one more breath. Then as you're ready, bring both knees in towards your chest again. Supine child's pose. And then exhale, roll over to one side. So let both knees come over, roll all the way over, maybe even resting your head on your bicep. And then pressing down into your top palm, go ahead and bring yourself up to a seat. Take it nice and slow. Eyes might even stay closed. We'll meet in your comfortable seated pose, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Nice lifted heart, soft cheeks, soft eyelids, intentional breath. Setting our intention at the beginning of practice to honor this value of Santosha, to find contentment within our breath, within our bodies, both during this time on our mat and as we step off the mat and into our days. And you may softly release your hands, take a breath, and open up the eyes. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take our first yin posture here. Let's place your left palm to the mat beside you. And as you inhale, reach your right hand up and over towards the left. We're taking a side body stretch here. And the yin variation here comes with the top arm. So we're going to bend your right elbow and let your right arm just sort of rest on your head. Now, if that's not comfortable for your neck or for your shoulder, feel free to keep it extended. You could even bring that right hand around to your right hip if it's really not feeling good for you. We're going to take a few moments here, so allow yourself to find the variation that best suits you. And when you're there, see if you can ease up just a little bit. So feeling that right hip still heavy, extending all through the right side body. Maybe closing your eyes and coming back to your breath. Through all these variations and movement, the breath is sort of a perfect anchor for us to come back to. Whenever you notice your thoughts start to wander, maybe some irritability comes up in the mind. Our yin practice especially tends to aggravate or unearth some of the more yang tendencies that we have. So whenever any of that starts to drive you away from your practice, just come back to the breath. Let's inhale, slowly come back to center. You'll arrive with both hands in your lap. And close the eyes, take a breath. Maybe feel that rush of circulation across the right side body, maybe even down into your fingertips. And now let's find the second side. Right hand plants down beside you. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. Good. Big stretch out through the side body. And then as you're ready, find your variation. So either forearm resting on the head, arm stays extended, or hand around back on your hip. Good. Wherever you are, settle in, find some stillness. Maybe keeping your elbow loose, your cheeks still soft, eyelids soft. Good. Let's slowly press back up. Take your time. Arrive back at center. Hands on knees, eyes closed, breathing fully. Wonderful. Now let's inhale, extend the arms out nice and long beside you, nice big T shape. As you exhale, bring your elbows towards one another. Bring your left elbow on top of your right, coming into eagle wrap. So bend from your elbows, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. You can just press the backs of your palms together, or maybe wrap around, find a bind, grabbing for your left palm with your right hand. Good. Go ahead and sit back into your seat. So engage your low belly as you sit up tall. Lift your elbows away from the floor just a bit. Good. See if you can soften across the back of the neck. Feel all that tension mounted at the backs of your shoulders. See if you can use your breath to soften it. Good, feeling free to stay lifted up here. We're going to take 5 full breaths. Or if you have it in your hips and in your body today, to fold forward. So bringing your forearms towards the mat in front of you. And maybe even resting the chin in towards the chest. Whether you're staying lifted or folded forward, bring your awareness into the back of your heart. Using your breath to create space. And slowly start to lift up. If you were folded, use the strength of your belly, of your thighs. Come all the way up to sit. And then slowly unwind from your hands. Feeling free to stretch out nice and wide across your palms and your hands if it feels like a good release. And then bring your hands back down onto your thighs. Again, take a breath. Notice the response in your body to the pose. And then extend your arms out wide, second side here. As you exhale, right elbow on top of left this time. Fingers towards the sky, finding the bind that best works for you here. So lifting elbows away from the floor, wrists pressing forward away from your face very gently. And then softening the back of the neck and the back of the shoulders. Taking your pose here, either staying lifted or making your way forward into your fold. It's one of these great, valuable lessons that lies in this value of Santosha, is this idea that we don't have to search outside of ourselves for happiness or for contentment. It's this empowering truth that we always have the ability to choose, right, an intentional response. We have the ability to choose our reaction to our surroundings. So whether we choose to meet our day with stress, with irritation, with aggravation, or we choose to meet the day with understanding, graciousness, curiosity. Right, the Santosha lies in that choice. And take one more full breath here. And then lifting back up nice and slow. Unwind. Maybe opening up the heart just a little bit. Big breath in. And exhale, come back through center. Beautiful. Let's transition now onto hands and knees. Let's stretch out the backs of the knees just a little bit. That was quite a bit of sitting. So you can inhale, maybe extend out into your right leg behind you, toes tucked, press out through your heel. And then as you're ready, switch sides, extend into the left leg, press out through the heel. Good, let's come back, tabletop pose. We'll find a bit of movement here with our cat and cows. So press into your palms, fingertips spread out nice and bright. Make your spine neutral by looking down in between your thumbs and lengthening your tailbone behind you. As you're ready, inhale, belly drops and heart lifts up towards the ceiling. Spread your collarbones away from each other. And exhale, round your spine. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. Good. Inhale, lifted heart. Exhale, round it in. Good. 3 more, just like that. Use your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Really relishing in this movement here. Finish up your last round wherever you are. We'll meet back tabletop pose. Wonderful. Neutral spine, gazing down between your thumbs. Let's find thread the needle. So bring your left palm underneath your heart, more towards the center of your mat. You'll use your right hand to inhale, open your chest up to the right, fingertips towards the sky. As you exhale, you'll thread your right arm underneath your left, crawling your fingertips to the left. Eventually you'll come to rest on that right shoulder and your right cheek. So feeling free to open that right palm up towards the sky. And then you have some choices with the left arm. You can keep it in close to your face for a bit more support. You can crawl your fingertips forward away from the face to lengthen into the left side body. Or you can bring the left hand over towards your right hand and use that bit of leverage to press the chest open and find a deeper twist here. Good. So find the variation that works for you and then settle. And remembering that with our yin practice, we stay soft in the beginning, right? When we're doing motions like these, like pressing or pulling, right, we're always reminded to do so very intentionally, right? And we're doing it with the thought of creating more space, right? Not more effort. To find the version of this pose here that makes you feel more spacious. Allow yourself to take refuge in this sense of calm, in this sense of stillness, and in this open heart. And wherever you are, start to bring that left palm in closer to the body, pressing away from the floor so you can slowly begin to unravel. Take a counter pose of extending that right arm back up towards the sky, open chest. And then come back down, tabletop pose. Give yourself a breath, preparing for the second side. Right palm comes underneath your heart. Inhale, right arm extends, open up towards the sky. Exhale, coming through, thread the needle. Second side, lowering down onto left shoulder blade, left cheek. Hips staying nice and high. Feeling the sitting bones lengthen behind you very gently. As the shoulders soften down your back. Maybe even letting the muscles around the face relax. Remembering to keep your eyes closed, keep your breathing very intentional here. So you might be able to feel in the twist of this posture, the rib cage expanding and contracting with your breath. Slowly bringing the right palm back in towards the body. Press down through the palm, and as you're ready, unwind, taking the left hand up towards the sky, counter twist, open your chest up towards the sky. Come back, tabletop pose, let a breath out. Good, just take a moment to neutralize here. Now from here, keeping the knees where they are, extend the hands towards the top edge of your mat. We're going to sink down into puppy dog pose. So as you inhale, reach the hips back behind you, keeping your arms long. You're going to eventually rest your forehead either on the mat or on a block placed underneath your forehead to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. Good, so here we feel the shoulders spiraling onto the back, the chest and the heart melting towards the floor, the hip bones spread out nice and bright behind you. And then settling in here in your puppy dog pose. And beginning to notice as we come into some of these less comfortable poses sometimes, noticing the response and the reaction of your mind. One of the things that keeps us away from Santosha is this constant drive to maneuver and manipulate our lives and our circumstances. I mean, even if you don't really realize it, we spend so much time, so much energy trying to fill our lives with the things we do enjoy and completely rid our lives of the things that we don't enjoy. It's very natural. It's in human nature. It's not a bad thing necessarily, but it does keep us in this state of constant lack, right? That we could always be doing something better. There's always something that needs to be changed. It keeps us seeking, and it keeps that sense of contentment or Santosha just out of our reach. So as you take 5 more big full breaths here in your puppy dog pose, can you find a sense of gratitude, a sense of contentment in your heart for the sensations in your body here? Let's press into the palms and slowly lift up. Take your time coming out of the shoulders. Bring your palms back underneath your shoulders and press away from the mat, finding that cat back. So puff up the back of your chest, tuck your chin in towards your chest, maybe shaking out the neck, releasing the lips a little bit. Good. And then let's come back, sitting on your heels. And let's bring the legs out long in front of you. Good. So let's extend the legs out long in front of you for caterpillar pose or seated forward fold. You can grab your hips and pull them back behind you to help settle into your seat. Now if you have very tight hamstrings, you're going to bring a little bit more of a bend into your knee. You might even find this pose with the feet flat on the floor is enough for you, and that's perfectly fine. Right, we're going to focus more so on the back body today. So maybe start with that little bend in your knees as you inhale, lift up through the chest. Then exhale, slowly begin to walk yourself forward. So feeling that rounded in the back body. Begin to draw your chin in towards your chest, let your shoulders soften down your back, and release the back of the neck. Feeling free to extend into the legs a little bit if you feel like you have some space. But again, bringing your awareness mostly to the back body here. So the backs of the shoulders, the low back, the space right across the backs of your lungs. Letting your shoulders, your elbows be soft. Really allowing yourself to surrender fully to this pose. Letting the breath be full, the awareness be light. And so this is another pose where maybe we feel a bit of resistance in the body. This is also a pose that comes laced with expectations, right? In the sense of perfectionism, feeling like we need to be reaching more and more towards our toes, that we need to completely fold ourselves in half in order to be good yogis. And I hope in my heart that you all know that none of that is true. Right? But it does bring up this caveat to our topic of Santosha. Right? This idea that in order to find contentment, we have to be happy or complacent with where we are all the time. Right? There's no need for any desire or any passion. We're just content with everything as it is. Right? And I think that that is a very common misconception that we have about this idea of contentment, especially about the yogi lifestyle. Right? We're not attached to anything. We're content with everything. But it is okay to feel discontentment. It is okay to want things that are better for yourself. It is okay to have goals and to strive for things. The practice comes with keeping contentment in mind through all of that. Right? So being content with feeling discontent. To feel content throughout the journey towards your goals. Right? To feel content with where you are while also striving to create better for yourself and for your families. And this idea of contentment is an active choice in every moment of every day. And let's inhale, press into the palms, and slowly begin to lift yourself back up to your seat. Wonderful. We'll make our way back onto our backs. Go ahead and grabbing your yoga block. You will need a block or a big book, anything that can act like a sense of support for you. So coming down onto your backs, keeping your block nearby, we're going to take a counter pose to our forward fold in the spine. Bringing your feet onto the floor, your knees up towards the ceiling. Taking your block, you're going to press into your heels and inhale, lift up your sitting bones. Now you're going to place the block pretty far down on your spine. So right at the very base of the sacrum, probably a little bit lower than maybe you think or you're used to. You want to get low enough to feel the tops of your hips open up towards the sky, but not so low that you can't stay supported. So find that sweet spot for yourself. As you're ready then, release your hands by your heels, palms opening up towards the sky. And then really allowing the low back to melt across the block here. Feel the support of the block, the weight of your hips. Come back to that anchor of your breath if you've lost it. Beginning to soften across the muscles of your face again here. Giving your body that full sense of release. Let's press into the feet, softly lifting your hips up off the block. Set it to the side, slowly rolling yourself all the way back down to the floor. You can bring your knees in towards your chest one final time, supine, child's pose. Gently massaging the low back into the floor. As you're ready, extend both legs out long to your mat, ending right as we started Shavasana. Heels to the corners of the mat, toes turned out, palms to the sky. Allowing yourself this final release here. Maybe taking one final big breath deep into the chest and letting it go. Reminding ourselves lovingly as we settle into our rest here that there is nothing missing from this moment. That life is complete in each moment as it comes to us. Feeling free to stay here in your rest for as long as you need. And as you begin to slowly transition off of your mat and into your day, may we hold this contentment deep within our hearts. The yogi Swami Rama says, contentment is falling in love with your life. So I wish you all the best, and I wish you all a burning heart full of love for your life. Namaste.